Well, we must have a newbie here. I don't know if you can see this or not. How come it's so dark over there all of a sudden? Okay. Let me turn on some light. Does that help? Not really. What are we looking at? Okay. There you go. VHF radio right here. And it's on channel 83. Well, it's on scan. It goes from 16.983, 16.983. Oh, it also goes 22 alpha. But anyway, it's on 83 alpha right now. I was just listening to a call that was coming in from another vessel that was trying to help another vessel 8 miles north of Bridgeport. Well, 8 miles north of Bridgeport is basically putting them up here. So I don't know, what's what here. But meanwhile, here's a typical example of two people not knowing where the hell they are. The one that's trying to help and the one that's needing help. So the one that's trying to help did get on the radio. Call Coast Guard. That's what I'm getting into here. Coast Guard says, can you talk to them? Can they hear you? Do you have communications with them? He goes, yes. He can yell over to them. I guess they're close. He says, well, tell them to put on channel 83. Yells over. They yell back. Apparently, we have no radio. We have our cell phones. Okay. They yell back. Coast Guard wants their number. They yell back the number. Well, that went back and forth 2 or 3 times, because you got to remember, they're yelling back and forth. They're not next to one another. And I don't know what the seas are like out there, but you don't want to get too close unless you have to, because you can very easily get rammed into them. So there's Coast Guard's trying all these numbers and they're just not coming through. So the Coast Guard guy says, typical boaters think the phones do everything. I never really heard one of the guys come out and say that. Usually they're professional, but apparently they're just getting pissed off at these people. And the people didn't know what number to call for help with the Coast Guard. So they've got a phone and they have no idea what they're doing anyway. All right, other than, okay, you could have tried 911. That may have helped you get someplace anyway. But again, it doesn't happen. So meanwhile, it went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, but where I'm going here is, screw your phones when you're out there. Get a radio when it works. Make sure that it works. Don't just buy it, hook it up, and it turns on. Ask for a radio check. A lot of people don't like it. Some of them do it. You got to do it. All right? Don't make it a habit, but it's a good idea to do a radio check every time you leave your harbor, so that you know that your radio's working and know what channel to put it on, because the phones aren't always going to work. First, you're trying to dial it in a panic mode. If you go down with it, yeah, some of them are waterproof, but you know what? The salt water is going to get right into that puppy. All right. A good radio and a handheld even. I recommend both. If you have to go overboard, you can take your handheld with you. It's made to put up with what it's have to put up with. Tether it to yourself so you don't lose it if you accidentally let it go. Okay. But meanwhile, I thought it was kind of funny to hear the Coastie say, typical boaters think the phone's going to do everything for them. So, but meanwhile, what are you going to do? So, alright, anyway, I just had to get that out there.